71 PART7 The Teachings of the Lord of the Second Coming. 3.4 Some Lessons from Jesus' Course. First, Jesus' course instructs us about God's predestination of His will. God predestines absolutely that His will be accomplished, and then works unceasingly until it is fulfilled. When John the Baptist failed his mission, Jesus tried to accomplish God's will at any cost, even to the extent of taking on John's responsibility. When disbelief on the part of the Jewish people frustrated his attempts to build the kingdom of heaven, Jesus still remained absolute in his determination and promised to fulfill the will at his return. Next, Jesus' course demonstrates that God's predestination concerning the manner in which His will is to be accomplished through an individual or a nation is conditional, not absolute. That is to say, although God may have chosen a certain individual or nation to accomplish a purpose in the providence of restoration, if he fails to complete his responsibility, God will surely choose another person or nation to continue His work. Jesus chose John the Baptist to be His chief disciple, but when he failed to complete his responsibility, Jesus chose Peter to replace him. Jesus chose Judas Iscariot to be one of His 12 disciples, but when Judas failed, Matthias was chosen to take his place. 238 Similarly, God chose the Jewish people to accomplish the central responsibility in His providence of restoration, but when they failed, their mission passed to the Gentiles. 239 These instances illustrate that when God chooses a person or a nation to accomplish His will, He never predestines in absolute terms whether that person or nation will, in fact, accomplish the will. Jesus' course also demonstrates that God does not interfere with a person's efforts to fulfill his portion of responsibility, but treats him according to the results of his actions. God must have known that John the Baptist and Judas Iscariot were losing their faith. He certainly had the power to stop them from sinning. Yet God did not interfere at all in their faith, but dealt with them only based on the results of their deeds. Finally, Jesus' course shows that the greater a person's mission, the greater the test he will confront. Jesus came as the second Adam. To complete his mission, he had to restore through indemnity the position Adam had occupied prior to the fall. Since Adam became faithless and forsook God, Jesus had to restore Adam's mistake by enduring when God forsook him, all the while showing unchanging faith. Therefore, Jesus was tempted by Satan in the wilderness and forsaken by God on the cross.